Hello and welcome back. Currently, Mr. George Floyd's case is in trial to decide on whether it was due to asphyxiation or due to fentanyl effect. This time in this video class, I would like to answer clearly what was the cause of his death. Hello, my name is Dr. Samurai, a professor specialized in international social pathology, also an active prison counselor for 20 years, and one time Nobel Peace Prize official honorable guest for his work. When we see things as a professional, we always try to see not one incident, but that incident in pattern. In other words, we always look at the context to interpret each act. As soon as I heard Mr. George Floyd's name, Mr. Eric Gardner, who was killed due to strangulation by a police officer, came to my mind. And there are so many others, especially black people, who were killed by police officers. I know there are some exceptions, and there are good police officers, and indeed there must have been a case that a suspect must have been killed. Okay? But I'm talking about the general case, especially focusing on this Mr. George Floyd's case. I said the pattern, right? When we see multiple things in similar patterns, there's got to be an underlying mechanism to cause such incident back to back. There are two ways of handling things. Do you know that? It's simple. One is top-down way. The other is bottom-up way. Top-down way is, to put it very clear, they only have something in mind, and no matter or how they react, they push it through and carry it out. One way completion of the task. That is a top-down, from top to down. Okay? The other is bottom-up. That is, first look at the situation and listen to what they have to say, and based upon that, try to come up with the best result, which was the Mr. Floyd's case, or Mr. Eric Gardner's. They are clearly the quintessential example of top-down cases. And the reason why there are so many murders of black people have been happening in the United States, especially sadly, but by police officer, is they have certain prejudice, certain fixed ideas about those who reject their aggressive order or who ran away from them. They see that their mind is automatically made up. They are bad guys. And they act it out. And the result was so many deaths. But I am telling you, this doesn't have to do only with the police officers. As a college teacher myself, there are so many top-down way of teachings and bottom-up way of teachings. Teachers are kind of divided based upon that. I am bottom-up type because today human rights are emphasized so much, and human rights are getting stronger. We cannot continuously use a top-down way, having a certain prejudged, fixed idea and ignoring actual sites or actual people just carry it out. That does not work. That is not professional way. They are amateurs. I can say that again. Those who use top-down way of handling things are amateurs. You know why? Because they have to use extra power. And in the end, they have this animosities from the victim and the victim's families and stuff. That is not a way that has least frictions. I used to teach top-down way, but when I taught English as a second language in the United States for a very short time period, that experience kind of made me notice my old top-down way doesn't work. In order to accomplish my goal in education, I must change. You know, there was one incident that actually happened to me at the airport, that immigration. There are several officers. They opened up my baggage and put everything out to see if there's something dangerous or narcotics and stuff. But no way I have those things. I'm just a teacher, okay? And they just left it that way. There were 5 people at the time, and they just moved on, especially young female officer. I said, as a college professor, just a kind gesture of saying small thank you would be nice enough. There was one older gentleman who I think was the head of the team. He said, thank you, sir. That soothed my anger way down. What I'm talking about? We are all human beings with emotions. George Floyd's case, that situation, knees on the neck, and it was clearly placing. And he said, I can't breathe. The same phrase was said by Mr. Eric Gardner. I can't breathe. And they are now fighting, whether it was due to drug or due to the push. Let me put it this way. If the knee was removed as soon as he said he couldn't breathe, do you think he died? If that big Eric Gardner who was just selling cigarettes at a lower price, he was asphyxiated like this, and he said, I can't breathe. As soon as he said that, the police officer released it. Do you think he died? I don't think so. This is the answer. Okay? And it is meaningless, I would like to say as a professional, to spend so much precious tax monies for this kind of court trial. The only thing American society needs is under new Biden administration, who is a highly humane president and whom I respect. Under this new flag, I hope the way police officers are trained in the police academy will change from top-down way of handling the situation to bottom-up way of handling the situation. Because bottom-up way is the best way. But professional officers always have to be ready, just in case the suspect changed to violent. But if they actually go like, okay, we got this report that you were selling illegal cigarettes, and we came here. Would you just cooperate with us, and we are gonna release you, pretty soon. But just in case, for the safety for both of us. And I just would like to hear what you have to say and things like that. Respect that is being used by professional prison correctional officers, okay? Without respect, we cannot win. I believe the phrase on a police car, protect and serve, is indeed the real purpose of police officers. Protect who? Protect the civilians. And serve who? Serve civilians. And they may do something bad, but selling illegal cigarettes, does that deserve death penalty? At the time, Mr. Freud, was he doing something very fatal to police officer? I don't think so. That is overreaction, amateur way of handling situations. So, in conclusion, there are top-down way of handling things and bottom-up way of handling things. The answer is there is only way in which we handle things bottom-up as a professional. Only one way of dealing with people. That produces the most successful result, and that represents the phrase protect and serve the best. So under Mr. Biden's administration, I am hoping the way they train prospect officers will change from top down, switch to bottom up way of handling situation. But at the very bottom, they have to know how to handle the very dangerous situation too. But that most dangerous situation happens not so often. The reason Mr. George Floyd and Mr. Eric Gardner and so many other precious lives are murdered was because police officers are handling situation in wrong manners, in unprofessional manners, period. I hope you got what I would like to get across to you. And if you like this kind of story, please click that red Dr. Samai logo that shows up for 20 seconds in the ending. And I hope I'll see you very soon. I want to upload 2 videos a week, periodically. Up until next time, please have a wonderful and safe time. Okay? Bye-bye.